Welcome to the Resolute Life. We're so glad you're here. If this is your first time joining us, we extend a warm welcome. You're about to explore a lifestyle centered around fulfillment, achievement, connection, and resilience, a resolute life. If you're already familiar with our work, perhaps through past videos, our podcasts on Spotify or Apple, or our blog and social channels, we trust you found the support and insight needed to move forward with intention. Should this content resonate with you, please consider sharing it. Someone else may be waiting for exactly what you've just discovered. Walk the path together, invite them to be resolute with you. Everything we share here is grounded in the daily life of resolute beings. Live with intent. The book is available globally through online bookstores like Amazon and Barnes & Noble, or directly through our website. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you'll never miss an episode. Last week, we spent some time unpacking the 3 positive mentalities related to the resolute life, as well as the 3 negative mentalities that stand in opposite. We received so much amazing feedback about that video. If you have not seen it, make sure to watch it straight after this one. Today, we are going to look at how you can cultivate the positive mental states through understanding the concepts of the circles of concern, influence, and control. The origination of these concepts comes from Stephen Covey's global best-selling book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. According to Covey, the first habit of Be Proactive is about taking responsibility for your life. Proactive people recognize that they are responsible. They don't blame circumstances, conditions, or conditioning for their behavior. They know they can choose their behavior. Reactive people, on the other hand, are often affected by their physical environment. They find external sources to blame for their behavior. If the weather is good, they feel good. If it isn't, it affects their attitude and performance, and they blame the weather. To illustrate this habit, Covey developed the circles of influence and concern. Since then, several experts have amended this a bit by adding a circle of control. Let's unpack these 3 circles as they relate to the 6 mentalities discussed last week. This model exists of 3 concentric circles. At the inner core of these circles, you find the smallest circle called the circle of control. This circle represents everything within your direct control. Things like your thoughts, your habits, your reactions, and lastly, your attitude. This is where your power lives. This is where you can directly control your life. In the middle of these 3 circles, bordering your circle of control, is the circle of influence. This circle represents the things you can impact or influence, though not fully control. These are things like your work or school environment, your relationships, and the community in which you live. The relationship between the circle of control and circle of influence is that the more you grow your circle of control, in other words, the better you control yourself, the better habits you form, the better decisions you make, and the better your attitude, the more you can impact the circle of influence. As you learn to expand the control you have over yourself, so you can learn to influence your environment better. The last and outermost circle is the circle of concern. The circle of concern refers to circumstances, events, and situations that are clearly outside your control and influence. These include things like an outbreak of war or global pandemics, your genetics and the family we were born into, the weather, traffic, and so forth. According to Covey, reactive people focus their efforts on the circle of concern. Most of their time and effort goes into complaining or trying to change what they cannot change. This makes them exhausted, resentful, and hopeless. People focusing on the circle of concern react from an external locus of control, and therefore exhibit negative mental states. They blame others, believe in scarcity, and often play the victim. Resolute beings, by living with intent, are keenly aware of these outside factors, but they let go of their desire to control the uncontrollable, and instead focus on what they can control and influence. Living with intent plays a big role in expanding your circle of control, by helping you gain awareness of the elements that you can control. In doing so, resolute beings control how they respond to their environment, and make conscious, deliberate choices that are aligned with their personal intent. They do not waste energy on things they cannot control. This does not mean they ignore their surroundings. Covey describes the circle of control as follows. The circle of control is not a prescription for detachment or indifference. It is a way of focusing our attention and energy on what really matters, so that we can live more fully and authentically. However, Covey believes that once you learn to control yourself, represented by the circle of control, proactive people turn the focus of their efforts to the circle of influence. They choose not to worry about things they cannot control, instead choosing to be proactive, concentrating on things they can control and influence. To end this video, let's look at how resolute beings can change their attitude from negative mental states to positive mental states. Being resolute requires you acknowledge the existence of all three circles: control, influence, and concern. But the level of focus on each circle differs. Resolute beings start by focusing on the circle of control, with the aim of understanding their past and present so that we can control their future. This is the primary task. As you focus on the circle of control, you can use these insights to understand the circle of concern, allowing you to make peace with what you cannot control, and thereby limiting its impact on our future. These two actions allows you to turn your attention to your circle of influence, making you increasingly more effective to change and mold your direct environment to live with intent. Thank you so much for joining us today. Remember to subscribe and to share this video with others. Check out other content on our website, socials like LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, podcasts on Spotify and Apple. And remember to join our WhatsApp channel for daily inspirational messages. And if you have not done so yet, get your copy of The Daily Life of Resolute Beings Live with Intent today. Next week, we are going to talk about how your unconscious impacts your ability to live with intent. Until next week, live resolutely.